Hey, Carrot Girl. Welcome back.
Hey.
Okay, so today I have a story for you,
Okay.
sort of. That means that in our last podcast episode, I told Lauren that we should do whether or not chopping your finger or biting your finger is as
Biting.
easy as biting a carrot, and the only
Yeah.
thing stopping you is your brain.
Yeah.
And Lauren thought that was a joke, and
I just
I
didn't think we were going to
researched
be I didn't think we were going to become the carrot podcast, but
And I researched for a long time. I read multiple research articles. I I looked very heavily into this. So Lauren's going to be learning everything with you guys.
like more than either of us looked into the first carrot centric topic, I think.
Yeah, this was actually really interesting to me because here's the thing. So, first of all, what are we talking about? There's an age-old wives' tale, honestly, that it's just as easy to bite through your finger as it is to bite through a carrot. The only thing stopping you is mentally you don't want to hurt yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. And that is a very real thing. Your brain stops you from going at your full potential against yourself, right? Okay, that's a real thing. But is your finger as easy to bite through as a carrot? Let's dive in.
Okay, I want to tell you my initial feeling about this was no, that's not true. So I can't wait to find out.
That's your initial feeling. Somebody told you that
Yeah.
and you said that's not true.
I just don't feel like that's true. I believe that your brain wouldn't let you, but I still feel like the bone has got to be harder to get through than a carrot. So,
Okay. And we'll get into that. We really will.
okay.
We will get into that so in detail. You're going to wish you ate your words. But first, let's talk about where it originated.
Okay.
Why did people start saying you can bite through your finger like a carrot? Um, I know I said I did a lot of research. I couldn't find the answer to this. The only thing I found was one Reddit post. And this is from
The
a Reddit
most
person, not
reliable source in
a
the world,
reliable
Reddit.
source. I'm saying it's not from a reliable source. That's what I said, Lauren. That Reddit person said that they think it came from a Marine telling a story about when he was deployed in the Middle East and he bit a person's finger off in a fight and said it was just like biting a carrot.
Okay. That does sound believable.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that
Like,
sounds
it
familiar.
sounds like that would. Yeah, actually, I know that guy.
Yeah, actually, he knows every single family in America, and that's why we've all heard this
Right. He travels family
fascinating
to
fiction.
family and tells you his war story about biting off a finger.
And so that's why I don't really believe that. Is because how would it become so widespread if it was just one guy telling a story? Maybe he told it on the news, but like, I don't know about you. So before I read that one Reddit post, I just said, the origin in my life was a girl in elementary school told me. And like, the news was pretty widespread at the time, but like, I don't think the internet was really fully fleshed out. Like, you couldn't just tweet something or like put something on TikTok and everybody's heard about it.
I feel like I definitely heard that for the first time through some avenue of the internet. So I maybe found out about it later in life than you did.
Oh,
But I feel like which
people
is
were
maybe
purposely
why,
keeping you in the dark.
yeah, I guess. They probably knew
Yeah,
that
they
I'd
said
be
that
biting
Lauren,
off
she's just going to
fingers.
eat through her finger. If we tell her she's going to eat through her finger.
But, like, I feel like maybe that's another reason why it doesn't seem believable to me, because I feel like my exposure to it is, like, a Facebook post, and, like, everything on Facebook is true, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah, right. So I heard it at the time that I believed my father was pregnant with me and my mother was pregnant with Ben, my twin brother.
With Ben? Right. So
And
you
that's why
believe it
I look like my dad and Ben looks
wholeheartedly.
like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you can bite through bone like biting through a
A
carrot.
carrot.
Okay, so is it true? Obviously, a carrot is not the same as a bone. The simple fact that we eat carrots with our bones. Can you hear that?
I
The
do.
simple fact that we eat carrots with our bones and they're not shattering or chipping at the very least kind of indicates that at least teeth bones are harder than carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll just start there. Take a moment to process that. Now, everyone online who is trying to disprove this little rumor uses this experiment from 2012 that was testing the safety of automatic car windows. And what they did is they used cadaver fingers and
Oh,
checked to see
God.
like how much force was needed to crush a finger,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, because another place on the internet that I've seen the carrot to finger comparison is people talking about Tesla Cybertrucks, maybe, or some Teslas. Their trunk was not programmed right and would like close on your fingers. And so I've seen a lot of TikTok videos of Tesla trunks chopping carrots, and people were like, oh, it breaks the carrot, so it's going to chop your fingers off.
Yeah, so then this experiment was very similar. And so what this experiment found was, and now everybody's reporting much larger numbers. So if you go online and you research, most of the numbers are going to be larger. I am trying to spin this in like the way of how could this thing that we've heard all our lives or for the past 2 years from Lauren, how could this thing be plausible?
Mm-hmm.
So this experiment found that the smallest possible force needed to fracture the weakest bone in the experiment was 105 pounds of force. Now, notice I said fracture, not cut
Right.
off a finger. Okay.
Right.
Only 2 fingers were actually chopped off in the experiment. And they were both chopped off at the distal bone. So if you were to grab your little pinky nail and then just
Mm-hmm.
kind of wiggle that around, that bone is most easily breakable out of all of the other finger bones. Okay. So that's the one that it took 105 pounds of force to fracture.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to chop off part of the finger right there at that bone with 362.62 pounds of force. So a lot of force. Okay.
Okay. I believe
Now
you.
let's compare that to what's needed to bite through a carrot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for some reason, and I'm getting a little conspiracy theorist right here, but when I Google how much force does it take to bite a carrot, everybody for some reason is saying 45 pounds of force. 45 pounds of force. It's like the other numbers I was telling you, everybody's reporting like a different average, a different like mean. Okay, average is the same as mean. Everyone's reporting a different average. They're reporting the median. They're reporting the smallest amount of force needed, the largest amount of force needed. Everybody's reporting different numbers. But when it comes to carrots and the force needed to bite down onto a carrot, everybody's saying 45 pounds. And nobody's citing their sources. And I think this 45-pound thing might just be another little myth that everyone's just believing all of a sudden. Because there's no actual data to back up 45 pounds of force. Okay. Or none that I could find.
Okay.
Even like Google AI will cite their sources.
Mm-hmm.
Google AI was citing Reddit, Quora, just like
Yahoo Answers.
just random people with no credentials typing stuff in. Okay. So take that 45 pounds of force with a grain of salt, but for some reason, everybody's reporting that. Okay. An article that was trying to prevent food waste. So they were trying to figure out like when a carrot goes through a whole bunch of machinery, how much force is needed to break the carrot and make it basically unsellable, right? So they measured how much force is needed to break a carrot like with a blade. And I understand that our teeth are not blades, but the blade that they used was a little bit thicker than our teeth and it had the angle of like a dull kitchen knife. So do with that what you will. And
Okay.
it only took 10 pounds of force to break a carrot. Okay?
Okay.
Compared to, let's refresh, 360 pounds to break off the weakest bone in your finger. Okay.
So given that information, probably not. The same force as biting a carrot to
Lauren,
bite your finger.
I'm not done.
There's more?
There's more. So I feel like there's like a whole community of almost like flat earthers that like fully believe this carrot finger theory.
They're related to the flat earthers.
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
What conspiracy you've uncovered?
Right. I've probably joined a couple of conspiracies myself. But so all of the defenders of this rumor, fact, I don't know what to call it, say that you can bite the finger at the joint without having to go through the bone. And so that would inherently remove a lot of the resistance. And you should be able to bite through that like a carrot, just like the Marine, right? He probably bit through the joint. I want to put up a picture of an x-ray of hands. There is not a lot of distance in between joints. But
I was just thinking, you'd have to have some sort of accuracy to get into that joint. It's a small joint.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm thinking like if the finger was bent and then you started biting from there, then you could theoretically start separating the finger joints from each other. Just once you get your teeth in there.
Yeah. I still feel like that seems like it would take more pressure than a carrot, though. Even still.
Yeah, so I couldn't really find anything that said, here's how much pressure it takes to bite through
a joint,
the ligaments and joints in your finger. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything about Teslas and windows about that. But I did still look into it. Mental Floss interviewed a hand surgeon last year who talked about hands that she'd seen where fingers had been bitten off by another person. And she says that when humans bite a finger, even when they don't bite through bone, it's not like a perfect, like, chop kind of break like a carrot would be. It's really messy. There's stuff dangling out of the finger that's left. And she said you kind of have to like rip it and tear it. So like kind of imagine, you know what sweet tart ropes are? You ever eaten one of those?
Yeah, of course I have.
Kind of like how you have to like yank it out. It's a little bit more like that. Which, if all of us had to eat carrots like that, I think we would all agree that that is not as easy as just crunching, biting into a carrot.
1000%.
So I'm going to call this a myth and say it is not as easy to bite into your finger, even if it's not through the bone, as it is to bite into a carrot.
It's just like biting through a sweet tarts rope.
Okay.
New saying. New saying.
It's as easier to bite into your finger.
It's easier to bite into your finger than it is to bite off a piece of sweet tart rope. You heard it here first.
Yep.
Start telling everyone you know.
Quotas. Okay, well, thanks for talking about carrots again with me.
Yeah, thanks for having a science sleepover with me, Rachel.
I know it made you really mad, but I did really enjoy our science sleepover. Good night, sweet dreams.
Good night.